What's up everybody, Frank Valkyria, welcome to the channel for another video. Guys, let me know how you're doing in the comments below. We got stuff to talk about, many things. Maybe accidentally somebody, a simp, like they say, revealed something, confirmed something to us. Let's look into it. But before we go, I want to thank you again, because yesterday, publicity for my book, we went from 1,200 to 800, and here we went below 100,000. Actually, matter of fact, I have to tell you, we went even lower. Last night when I checked, we were at 25,000 here, and here we were like 400. I'm starting to dream. Maybe we can bring this to number 10. Let's see if we can. It was a rhyme right there. So guys, it's for sale. If you want to read something like dark fantasy, horror, paranormal, urban fantasy, I'm starting to dream. I can see that we can get this to 10,000 or something. Let's go Kindle. Anyway, now back to the stories. We have some simps, like that umbrella guy says, even though I think it was PewDiePie that was the first one using this simp terminology. Now it's part of the language in the internet sphere. So anyway, we get cat tambourage, cat tambourage, cat tambourage, cat tambourou. I don't know. Something, okay? I'm trying. I'm learning. Don't point the finger at me. But anyway, she seemed like accidentally confirming that probably Jessica Reed Krause exchange of stories on Instagram and some email screenshots probably real. So I wasn't sure, and I'm still not sure if all of those things are actually from House and Ebert or Jessica Krause Reed. And a very quick recap, because I've done this. It's about Jessica, that she's been basically threatened and also apologized to by those bots, simps, whoever is behind the PR machine of AH, which they also claim through this stuff that actually AH was faking stuff, and a lot of these people like Camilla, like Bunny Chateau, Cocaine Cross, whatever her name, it's all the same person. We will see if that's true. I've also heard Andy Signore from Popcorn Planet that he actually knows more about the identity of Camilla, so he's not revealing it yet. So let's see, probably as inside that we don't hear. So I look forward to see Andy talk about that. Anyway, but the thing that it's interesting here is Kat Tamberg, talking about Jessica. Initial threat was that if I ever covered her, she'd start tagging me in posts about threats she receives to make sure her audience keep doing this. A tactic I'm sure will be used against many journalists to try and pressure them into not covering certain people. So the interesting part is that by posting this, she's kind of giving some sort of credibility to the fact that this might be real. The real screenshots of actually Jessica Reed Krause talking, which she said those things. She said that, you know, I'm going to make sure, Jessica said, I'm going to make sure that you always remembered as somebody that threatened me and my family. I'm paraphrasing her. So even though, again, I'm not 100% sure all of this is real, but I find actually interesting that Kat, Tan, and Bar, and J decided to post something about this, right? So either way, there it's like a snake eating itself. If it's all like a manipulation done by her team, like I said in another video, maybe this whole thing is a sort of scammy whatever to try to fool us, to sort of call us out like, ha, you see, they believe whatever we feed them, those peasants, and it was all has. Actually, I wish was the case, because, oh God, I will have a field day talking about that type of manipulation. But I'm also actually interested in the fact whether or not Jessica is really posting this, and she's right. And also would mean that we will get much more from Jessica, and also most likely from the Gia story. So I shared yesterday that Taylor Lorenz, these are the journalists, I think she writes for the Washington Post, she's trying to do another piece on that umbrella guy and reached out to him, kind of low-key sort of threatening him or accusing him or wanting to self-accuse with those questions answered already, like I said yesterday, leading in the conversation. So like I said, I want to make this video shorter because we talked about some of that, and I found that interesting that Tamburge replied to Jessica, oh, she's aware of it. And I'm also interested in this thread here, H, Head Monica, whatever. So Kat, CC, Cocaine Cross, Lillian, and Camila is making me physically heal. She's talking about the fact, this person is talking about the fact that anything you say might be distorted by these people. This is that umbrella guy replying to this. Because there's a new documentary, Warner Bros. And so it feels like that all the PR machine and the bots and the simps are working really hard to make sure that maybe this documentary tries to dent into people awareness of the truth. I find it very difficult that to happen. But Maribella says, Camila, Cocaine Cross, Lillian Daisies, and Leave Heard Alone are all the same person, and I'm collecting proof for it. You have anything, reach out. So somebody's suggesting Goblin Era. Is there a way to check their IP addresses? Doubt they would have a mind to hide, change their IP or MAC addresses between accounts. Well, they could, but good call. Little sip of cold coffee with avena with oat. So, like I said, Andy Signore is talking about this. He said that he has more information. I'm scrolling to Twitter to see, other people, what's going on here. Yes, I saw this mermaid thing of Disney. We can talk in another thing, in another video. So it was interesting here that this video of Taylor Lorenz is talking about, oh, this is the quartering. I've seen some videos also. Big YouTuber. So anyway, we have here Taylor Lorenz basically accusing pseudo journalists, or the new community of people sharing stuff like YouTuber, of just following threads on Twitter, being all day on Twitter, and posting to a very niche kind of group of idiots. All right.
Sits on Twitter all day long and looks for spicy tweets from media people and writes about it. And then they make these manufactured controversies for right-wing lunatics and other media people who are the only people that read this kind of garbage. And it's just so lazy and it's just so disappointing. I just feel like if you call yourself a media reporter, you should be reporting on that stuff. Instead, these people just write about the most niche media Twitter bullshit and it drives me crazy.
I felt that this time a longer, way longer, awkward pause was necessary. Because sometimes you just can't speak, right? Oh, gee, oh, gee, oh, gee. Well, I leave it at that. I think that explains itself. I don't need to comment. Some people seem like they're absolutely, they're somewhere else. I don't know, they live in a reality that they made up that makes sense only for them. And I'm just here the only thing I can do is making noises. Okay? So guys, let me know your thoughts on this. We'll see if Tamburge and Lorenzi might, come unite their forces against the truth. It seems like nowadays there is this sort of unnecessary villainy from certain people, which they just bought into an ideal, and they're trying to defend it despite the truth, the fact, because most likely to try to support the men seem like to undermine the whole like very lazy fabric of their ideology, which I find absolutely insane. Because if we don't help people to talk and we listen to both sides and we start to inquire, we start to listen, we start to protect both sides before we find the truth, how are we gonna solve this? Also, how are we gonna teach people? Because we also forget another part. A lot of avoiding DV. It's actually upbringing, upbringing. Things we can do in society, but that's a longer discourse. That's a longer thing to talk about. But there's so many things that can happen before to rectify people, to teach people, both whatever gender, in order to make sure that when they grow up, they don't end up being the freaking asshole that they become, and they, do what they do on other people. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for the support as always. You know how to support the channel. Let's go 100 here. And let me know your thoughts on the video of today. Thank you so much. Always spread love. Ciao.